And have you ever wondered, is it you or is it your dog? What's the problem? If you want to learn all about dog training and operant conditioning, stay tuned to Mysteries Mysteries. I am Mr. E, and we are going to be studying all things mysterious in the world of psychology. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. Really wonderful conversation that we're going to have today about operant conditioning. Operant conditioning was brought to us by a guy by the name of B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner did all of this work on pigeons and lab rats and all sorts of different training techniques that are used today. Specifically, one of my favorites is Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, and some of the things that he does with his dog. So we won't be talking too much about Caesar, but we will be talking about how you train your dog. So with operant conditioning, it's one form of learning that takes place with our relationship to the environment. And with operant conditioning, we have 4 different forms of operant conditioning. We have positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, and negative punishment. And we're going to take a look at each one of these, specifically how it relates to training your dog. One of the things that we won't talk too much about here is schedules of reinforcement and how, when you're giving them their treat, that sort of thing really makes a huge difference. We're not going to focus too much on that. We're just going to focus on the reinforcement and the punishment in general. So here we go. So the first form of operant conditioning is the one that we all have heard of before. That's positive reinforcement. So whenever we hear the word reinforce, reinforce means we want the behavior to occur again. Now, people oftentimes, so that's relatively simple, right? But people oftentimes get the word positive and negative messed up. Positive doesn't always mean good, okay? In positive reinforcement, positive means add something or give something, right? So you're adding something to the dog. So when your dog goes to the door to go potty and you give them a treat, you are giving them something that's positive, and then you're reinforcing it because by giving them something good, they are more likely going to do that behavior again. So that is positive reinforcement, okay? So that's an easy one. Now we get to negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement, people mess this up all the time, including one of my favorite shows of all time, and that would be Penny and Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. And some of their conversations, they talk about negative reinforcement, and they actually screwed it up a little bit. So you can look up that clip. Just look up Big Bang Theory operant conditioning, and you'll see how they messed it up. So what is negative reinforcement? So again, reinforcement means we want the behavior to occur again. Negative means we're going to be taking something away, okay? Now, in this case, if we want to reinforce the behavior, we are, in fact, going to take away something bad. So, negative reinforcement, you take away something bad to increase the likelihood that the behavior is going to occur again. So, if you've ever had an electric fence, okay, an invisible fence for dogs, they are actually being trained using negative reinforcement, not punishment. Super interesting. So what happens is when the dog gets close to the invisible fence, there's a very annoying pitch, a very annoying sound that only the dogs can register, okay, because they can hear at a higher pitch than we can. And we'll do another episode on pitch theory at another time. But they hear at a different pitch. So they hear this annoying pitch. When they move back towards the center of the yard, that annoying pitch goes away. So in fact, that dog is being reinforced to move away from the edge of the yard because that sound goes away when he does the behavior that we want the dog to do. So that's negative reinforcement. On a family level, parents, you'll appreciate this. You nag and nag and nag at your child to do a particular chore. The only reason they do it is to stop you from nagging. That's it. That's negative reinforcement, taking away something bad, that nagging. So that invisible fence for the dog, that annoying pitch sound that they hear when they return to the yard, that goes away. Something bad is being taken away. Okay. One last little anecdotal piece. This is how seatbelt buzzers work in your cars, right? You get in your car, you start your car, you're just going to back the car up, right? But there's that annoying beeping that you need to put your seatbelt on, and then you put your seatbelt on, and that annoying sound goes away. Negative reinforcement. Okay, so now we get to the confusing part. So positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, we want those behaviors to occur again. We want to increase the likelihood that somebody is going to do something that we want them to do. So now we shift to positive punishment. Positive punishment. How can punishment be positive? Again, positive does not mean something good. Positive means give. Punishment means we don't want the behavior to occur again. We want to decrease the likelihood that the behavior is going to occur again. So positive punishment means that we are going to give something bad. Okay. So positive means give. Punishment, because it's something we don't want them to do again, we're going to give them something bad. Okay. So with the dogs, when they cross that electric fence, they get the really painful, not super painful, but the painful shock. That would be a positive punishment. So not when they're hearing the buzzing and they come back in the yard and they feel better. It's when they actually cross that invisible fence line, that fence makes that electric shock feeling. They are being punished for stepping outside of the yard. That would be positive punishment. Again, people get confused. They hear positive, they think it means good. No, positive means add or give. Positive punishment, we are giving something bad. Okay. Just another piece of positive punishment. The timing of this is absolutely vital. So, and owners do this all the time. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, dogs run away, but then they come back. Do you punish them for running away? No, because what's happening in their mind is they're being punished for returning. They're not being punished for running away. So you punish them when they come back. Yeah, they're not going to want to come back because they know they'll be punished. So avoid that. That's just one little piece of advice with punishment. One of the really main big pieces of issues with punishment is punishment teaches you what not to do, but it doesn't teach you what to do. So whenever you're using punishment with a dog, you also have to train them to do what is the appropriate behavior. So if you punish your dog for like chewing on something they're not supposed to, that's fine, but they really don't comprehend what that means. What am I supposed to do with this frustration or anxious energy or sore teeth or whatever? Well, you teach them the actual correct behavior by giving them something that is appropriate for them to chew on and then reinforcing that behavior. And that teaches them that I can chew on things that are shaped like this. Okay. So that is positive punishment. Now, the last piece we have is negative punishment. This one can be a bit confusing too, because negative doesn't mean mad, or excuse me, negative doesn't mean bad. Negative means take away. So negative punishment, we don't want the behavior to occur again. So we are actually going to take away something good. Okay. So negative punishment, we take away something good. So if you have a teenager and your teenager stays out late at night and breaks curfew, you take away their cell phone or you take away their privileges for driving. You're taking away something good. You are punishing them for their behavior by taking away something good. Okay. With dogs that are acting roughly with a toy and they're not playing well with another dog, you take away that nice toy. That is a form of negative punishment. So, those are our 4 types of operant conditionings brought to us by B.F. Skinner. They are positive reinforcement, giving something good, negative reinforcement, taking away something bad, positive punishment, giving something bad, and negative punishment, taking away something good. I hope you never get those confused again, and good luck training your dogs in the future. I am Mr. E. This is Mysteries Mysteries. A big thank you to the creative agency, Unity Creative, with Bear Wade. And also, hey, make sure that you give us a 5-star. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple, anywhere that you can find podcasts, and check us out on TikTok, Insta, Facebook, YouTube Reels, whatever you can find out there. I hope you have a terrific day. We'll see you.